The euro versus US and sterling versus US dollar moving to the upside just marginally, but higher. That's a lower US dollar. Meanwhile, the dollar versus yen is also moving higher. That's a downside in the US dollar. I'll go through the technicals that are driving each of these currency pairs in this video. So let's get started. I will start off by taking a look at the euro versus US dollar. And trading yesterday, we saw the price base against the price that we had at the beginning of the week. The low price that we saw at the beginning of the week near 1.02928, price came down to that level, found support buyers against that level, pushed higher, and came up to the 100 and 200 hour moving averages, which are converged right here. We waffled around that level, trying to stay below it for about 2 or 3 hours before finally breaking to the upside. We did find support against the high of this swing area through here, which gave the buyers the go ahead to push higher, and indeed they did. They came up to this other swing area here, defined by different swing lows and swing highs coming through here, move back and forth to support and resistance to the area. Then we tried to find a support base through here, kind of making that head and shoulders formation. We gapped to the downside right through here, came back up trading last week and based against this level, moving higher again, and fell below it and traded above it, tried to hold above it. So you get the pattern that we're seeing. There've been lots of ups and downs around the area. So here we are in trading yesterday. Came up to that high price and fell off into the close. And trading today, we've seen a rotation back to the upside, and we did get above the high of this swing area between 1.0371 and 1.0381. But as you can see, the price has come off, waiting for the US CPI data, which will be released at 8:30 a.m. with expectations of 0.3 for both the headline and the core measure. We'll see how all that data pans out. We also have Fed Chair Powell speaking in front of the House today in his second day of testimony. Yesterday, spoke and pretty much bored the world with his comments straight down the middle of the road. No real huge surprises. So this area right here is going to be our barometer for more bullish above, more bearish below in the short term. For sellers who want to lean against this high price right here and see a higher US dollar, we could see a rotation back toward the 100 and 200 hour moving averages on the downside, which come in at 1.0343-ish type area, which is also near the high of this swing area. So that would be a nice key support target that would keep the buyers in play. And the potential for further bounce back to the upside again if we do break below that level. However, it shifts the bias more to the downside for the euro versus US dollar. On the top side, move above the 1.0381 level with more momentum when we move toward the 1.0405 level. Recall from the daily chart, if we go back to that, the 2022 low back here, the 2023 high right here, the 50% comes in at 1.0453 exactly, and that's that red line that we saw on the hourly chart to aspire toward in more bullish bias today. Let's take a look at the dollar versus yen next. And looking at this, we saw a break to the upside here. That break to the upside in early Asian session took the price back above the 200-day and the 100-day. Ueda was Bank of Japan's Ueda was speaking, and he didn't necessarily say anything about tightening. In fact, he was more concerned about U.S. tariffs and potentially slowing of the U.S. economy as a result of higher prices, inflation, so on and so forth. And so the market seemed to interpret a more dovish tilt to the Bank of Japan, at least in these comments. Let's just say it wasn't more hawkish, or that tightening is coming. So be aware of that. We also moved above the 200-hour moving average. That's a green line in this chart. And it will be the close support in trading here today for traders stay above that 200-hour moving average. And we should see further upside momentum with the 38.2% retracement of the move down from the January high to the February low as the next key target at 153.96. That's right around the 154 level. You can see we sniffed up toward it, but did find sellers against that level and consolidating mainly between 1.5340, let's say, up to 1.5385, something like that. So that's where we sit right now, currently trading at 153.58. Above this swing area, below the 38.2, we like to get above the 38.2 to show that the buyers mean business in that currency pair. Let's finally take a look at the sterling versus US dollar. Again, I'll look at the hourly chart for this pair. And like the euro versus US dollar, coincidentally or not so, we saw the price move above, but they converged 100 and 200 hour moving averages. This is blue and green lines in this chart right through here near the 1.2418 level. And we've stayed above that level on trading here today. We've seen just lots of ups and downs in a fairly narrow trading range. We are marginally higher on the day at 1.2454 on the top side. We have this swing area which comes in between the 1.2474 and 1.25 level. Get to that area, and traders will have a decision. The buyers and sellers can battle it out at that level. We tried to move above it here, but failed on the break, and then came back and used that level as resistance, pushing to the downside, pushing to the downside, pushing to the downside, and moved back to the area right here. Moved above it again, tried to stay above it, and failed again, and pushed to the downside. And last week's trade, we came up to the swing area and found willing sellers again, pushed to the downside. So this area between is going to be our next key target. Get above 125, and we see further upside momentum in the pound versus US dollar on the downside. Obviously, support comes against the 100 and 200 hour moving average in the short term. Move below those levels, and the bearishness continues. So if you're a seller, you want to see get below here. If you're a buyer, you want to see get above here. So that's my tactical look at these three major currency pairs to kickstart your North American U.S. trading. Head of US CPI and Fed Powell. My name is Greg Michalowski. Good fortune with your trading. Bye-bye now.